Taboola by Taboola. Sponsored links, promoted links. She adopts a girl that nobody wants. 19 years later, she looks totally different. Eternal lifestyle. It's like eBay, but everything sells in 90 seconds. Toe fatter. Brendan Cole fans are in mourning after the Strictly Come Dancing favorite revealed he's been dropped by the BBC after 13 years. Clearly emotional, the professional dancer admitted he was in shock after the Beeb made an editorial decision not to renew his contract. Advertising in red invented by Teeds. But what happened to end the much-loved star's run on the show, which began when it first launched back in 2004? Having openly admitted that he doesn't shy away for conflict, Brendan, 41, has had his fair share of spats with the show over the years. As the BBC pay gap saga rumbles on, with a review having found no evidence of purposeful gender discrimination, Brendan once took aim at the salaries, insisting that despite working 14-hour days, he couldn't even afford to buy a car. "My money from Strictly just about pays the bills. I don't have a car. I would like to get one, but until then I'm on the tube. I don't even own my house. I can't afford it. I rent where I live," he told Now magazine of his rumored £35,000 salary. But Judge Bruno Tonioli, who is believed to earn around £110,000, had zero sympathy for the dancers, telling the Mirror, "Those are the terms of the negotiations. If you don't like it, stop moaning and K off." Brendan was also rumored to have been embroiled in a behind-the-scenes feud with head judge Shirley Ballas, after she scored the top job that Brendan had been favored for. "Obviously everyone that was up for it would want it. It is an amazing opportunity in terms of a spot," he said at the time. "It would have been a natural progression from being a dancer on the show. I was obviously disappointed that I didn't get it, but at the same time my place has always been a dancer on the show. It would have been a natural progression from being a dancer on the show. I was obviously disappointed that I didn't get it, but at the same time my place has always been a dancer on the show." However, he was adamant that his on-screen bickering with Ballas has nothing to do with losing out on the head judge spot, and everything to do with her criticism of his last dancer partner, Charlotte Hawkins. "I don't work that way. I'm pleased for everyone in their own roles," he said. "But I clashed with the judges due to the nature of what was happening on the show. I have always been one to stand up for what I believe in, and I have done exactly the same this series like I have with the 14 other series. I don't know about fairness or unfairness, but my partner Charlotte and I delivered a fantastic tango for someone with no dance experience. It was a really strong tango and it deserved a lot of praise." And James Jordan, who was a professional on the show alongside his wife Ola, took to Twitter to accuse the BBC of disliking anyone who has an opinion. "Just seen my mate at Brendan Cole has not been asked back on Strictly," he wrote. "Seems like they don't want anyone on the show that has an opinion. Especially when he played a massive part in making the show what it is today. Wishing him all the best in his future endeavors. Will be missed." Brendan has been a permanent fixture on the show since its birth in 2004 and won the first series with his partner Natasha Kaplinsky. Speaking about his departure from the show on January 30th, he told Lorraine, "This is quite hard to talk about. The BBC haven't renewed my contract, we get renewed year on year, and they made an editorial decision not to have me back on the show. I'm a little bit in shock. I'm quite emotional, a bit raw about it." The professional dancer admitted it was not his decision to leave, and speculated it could be because he's a strong character. Brendan said, "I've always known this day would come. To get to this point, the BBC make the decisions year upon year. It's an editorial decision. I'm sure he'll never know the ins and outs. I'm a very strong character within the show. I have my strong views." Of his sometimes argumentative character, Brendan admitted, "Some do like it, some don't. I love that side of the show. I like being a character on the show. They look at the show every year. I've never been contracted more than 1 year." He received the disappointing news via phone call at the end of last week, and said he only told the pros about his exit 10 minutes before appearing on Lorraine. He also said partner Zoe Hobbs was upset for him. Revealing how the decision was broken to him, he said, "It's done via a process of a phone call and stuff. I have had 15 incredible series on the show. I'm very proud of the whole show. It's a great team." He added, "I'm disappointed. It's very hard to talk about. It's a recent decision." Brendan's departure means Anton Dubik is now the only remaining original professional dancer on the show. Brendan admitted that he did want to stay on Strictly and that he will miss being part of the team. He said, "Yeah, I still wanted to be part of it. I've always said as long as I've got a passion for it I want to be there. My passion is still very much there. I'll miss being part of the team. I'll miss being a Strictly dancer. It's kind of weird to imagine yourself not having that as your. I do a lot of other things of course, but the main thing I've been known for is to be a dancer on Strictly. Very odd to even say this out loud. It feels quite raw. Brendan confessed he would have preferred to have made the decision to leave himself rather than being shoved out the door. He said, "It's the BBC's decision, the powers that be within the BBC, they'll have a vision of the show and I'm not part of the vision, that's okay. Listen, I accept, you've got to accept what decisions are made. I would have preferred to have made the decision myself, but maybe I would never have made it because I love being on the show. The last 5 years I haven't really made much of a noise on the show with my partners, they haven't been able to do what I've wanted to do. No disrespect to them. I haven't had one of the ones that had a bit of dance experience that you can really challenge. So it's one of those things where you go, I've asked this question many times of myself, when do I leave every year? I've gone, I love the show too much. I love the fact that I've been there from the start. I feel like I've made a massive difference to the show and to the show that it is today." Brendan joked that no one will argue with the judges anymore and he doesn't know who to pass the baton on to. Speaking of continuing to support the show, he said, "I'm a fan of the show. The show comes first. They've made the decision, I respect it completely. I don't like it very much, but I respect it completely and I will still the show. I still want to support my friends that are in it." Of his future he added, "This is the exciting thing, it's going to open up many opportunities. I've always been, I wouldn't say tied down to Strictly, that's the wrong thing to say, but that Strictly takes up such a large chunk of your time. 5 months of the year the pros are involved. I've had to pass up so many opportunities that have come my way." The BBC has been approached for comment.